Bounce it to Hamby, and so now that'll be that. So the Indiana Fever come into here after losing 3 of their last 4 on the
Hamby takes the inbound, and that's the game. The Indiana Fever walked into LA after dropping 3 of their last 4, but this time, they came out with their toughest win of the season. The crazy part? It almost didn't count. Up by just 1 point in the dying seconds, the refs handed the Sparks multiple extra opportunities they never should have had. Caitlin Clark and Sydney Coulson didn't waste any time calling it out, and fans were heated. So what exactly went down in those wild final moments? And how did Indiana push through all the chaos to keep their playoff hopes alive? Let's dive into the madness in Los Angeles, and why this win could end up being a turning point in their season.
One common theme in the WNBA is how poorly officiated these games can be. The lack of competence from the people wearing the striped suits. Every time I watch a WNBA game, a thought crosses my mind when it comes to the officials, and that thought is, how much money do you have on this game?
Why did the last 3.9 seconds of Fever vs Sparks feel like they lasted forever? Because those few ticks on the clock somehow stretched into what felt like an eternity, almost wiping away Indiana's biggest victory of the year. The Fever were clinging to a 76-75 edge. The arena was electric, and both squads knew this wasn't just another regular season matchup. Indiana sat 6th in the standings, while LA was just 2 spots behind. One possession had the power to shake up the entire playoff race. Inside Crypto.com arena, every dribble, every whistle mattered. And for some reason, the whistles just wouldn't stop.
I'm talking about right at the end of the game, when the nonsense was being called and cheating was being speculated, right? Everybody was looking like how Caitlin Clark was looking by the end of that game last night with the Indiana Fever and the Los Angeles Sparks. Everybody was looking just like this, man. What in the world was going on?
Started with the Sparks looking for one final shot to steal it. But instead of letting the game play out, the officials kept inserting themselves into the action. The clock reset in bizarre ways. Fouls were called on one side and swallowed on the other. And even when Indiana forced mistakes or defended cleanly, LA kept getting new inbound chances. None of these sequences lasted long on their own, but combined, they dragged the game into something that felt oddly tilted. Fans couldn't help but wonder, how many do-overs would the Sparks get?
Let's take a look at this. All right, now it was 0.6 on the shot clock when this happened, okay? They had the ball, they were running around. I thought the game was over here, honestly. I thought the game was over, but they ended up calling the foul, saying, oh, the game is still going on. All right, whatever. They got the foul. Cool. So, Kelsey Mitchell, she goes to the free throw line, right? And she missed both of them. Now, I think Kelsey Mitchell should have made both of them, all right? At least one of them. But she missed both of them, okay?
In the middle of that marathon stretch, Aaliyah Boston stepped up with the defensive stop of the night, ripping the ball away when LA tried to force it inside. Indiana pushed the other way, and Kelsey Mitchell earned a trip to the free throw line. With 0.4 seconds left, she missed the first attempt. That should have ended it. But instead of letting time run out, the official somehow granted the Sparks another inbound with just 0.1 seconds showing. That decision alone set off alarms. I mean, how can any team realistically run a play with less than the blink of an eye on the clock?
Man, there is no way. Right at the end of the game, you should be on top of it. You telling me you're not paying attention to when some hands touch that ball? Come on, man. And then to reward them with the timeout, like, fam, that's crazy work. Look, Caitlin Clark, like, what is going on here? Like, no. Look, Caitlin ready to run the floor, fam. She's like, no. What is this, man? What is this nonsense?
And this wasn't just Indiana fans overreacting. The league has already had several sketchy endings this year. Questionable timing, soft fouls in crunch moments, and messy replay decisions. To Fever supporters, this game felt like another example in a growing pattern, either sloppy officiating or something more concerning. Social media exploded instantly, with the 0.1 second inbound clip spreading everywhere and people blasting the league for embarrassing itself yet again.